Hi guys, it's Alisa. Thank you so much for tuning back in to another one of my videos and for coming back to my channel. So, sorry for the way that I look. I'm moving tomorrow, so today's been pretty hectic. My hair is not greasy, it's wet because I took a shower. But I decided to just knock out one of the requests that have been piling up in my inbox tonight because tomorrow's going to be a busy day, so what better way to just give back to society than doing one of these requests. So, this one I got yesterday morning, and it came in through my email address. So I'm going to read it, and I'm going to keep it anonymous, of course. It says, "Hi Alisa, I've been watching your videos for years now, but never had a reason to write in until now. You're so smart, pretty, and empathetic. Thank you. Very easy to listen to, and you make big pills easier to swallow." That's my favorite thing to hear. I hate pills. I always use pill cutters. I'm just kidding, by the way. I know that was a metaphor. My boyfriend and I have been dating for a year now, but we've been going through some problems. Him and I have both made mistakes in the past, but we always bounced back from it. Now it seems as if he's sort of at a breaking point because he woke up one morning and told me he was questioning everything. We've barely talked in a few days and I'm not sure what to do. I love him to death. I'm 20 and he's 22. I really see a future with him, but I'm not sure what's going on with our relationship, but I'd love some insight. Thank you in advance from so-and-so. Thank you so much for writing in. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for taking the time out to contact me. It means a lot. So I will say before I address this, it's pretty vague. In order for me to help you as accurately as I can, I would prefer having more details, because if I don't have details, then I have to provide a lot of if this, then this, and if this, then that. I have to do a lot of subcategories. That way it can hopefully apply to you and still apply to other people. So it looks like that's what I'm going to have to do here, but no worries, it's fine. That way I can try to reach more people with this video. So I'm sorry y'all have been having issues. It's definitely tough when the person you've been with for a while wakes up and questions everything that you've, I guess, invested your time in, your energy, your effort, your love, your heart. It's definitely a pretty big deal, so I'm sorry you're going through that. You're saying he woke up one morning and told you that he was questioning everything. Did he tell you why? Did he tell you the reasoning, what exactly he was questioning? What have you guys been talking about in the days that you've been communicating? Are you taking space? There's a lot of things that I'm not getting here, so I'm just gonna try to address all aspects like I mentioned. So normally there's so many reasons why a guy can wake up and decide that his relationship is no longer the thing that he's gonna pursue resiliently. There's always reasons why he can wake up and question it. Most of the time, it could be a problem with himself that he's having. I know boys, they focus on things different than girls do. Girls, so I went to a Catholic high school and we had a speaker come in one time, and it was a relationship talk, and she used this example. It was either I think there were two people, it was a he and a she, because they divided the rooms. Girls went in one room, boys went in the other, but at the end, we came together and had a mass talk. So the girl, she said boys have waffle brains and girls have spaghetti brains, and I think about that all the time because it's kind of true. So hopefully no one takes offense to this. I'm sorry. They didn't give us any more gender categories, unfortunately. It was just boy and girl, but it is a private Catholic high school, so I wasn't really expecting them to dissect it any more than that. But when they said girls have spaghetti brains, they mean everything's kind of interwoven. We combine our relationships with our friendships, with our, employees, with this, with that. And then boys are really different. They really do compartmentalize everything like a waffle, how they have little boxes and how the syrup always falls into one hole at a time. And that really makes sense, and I never really thought about that until I reflected on my own relationship. My life, when I met my current boyfriend, when I met him, my coworkers were my best friends, and I hung out with them every single day. Every day I hung out with them. They were such cool people. We would always go to parties together, throw parties together. And then I even met my boyfriend at work. So literally that job provided everything for me. It provided my social, like, friends, it provided my romantic boyfriend, it provided, like, everything in my life I kind of got from my job. So it was really cool to think about. But my boyfriend was the opposite. He thought it was so weird that I hung out with my coworkers because he didn't. He came to one party that we threw and he thought it was the most awkward thing. His friends are definitely just his friends from his fraternity, and then he has his friends from back home, but he always kept work separate from everything else. And it was really, really weird to think about how different we were in how we went about our lives. Like, I literally combined everything, my relationships, my friendships, my work. It was all integrated with each other, but he always kept it separate. I was the girlfriend. He had his fraternity friends. He had his job, which he didn't socialize with anybody there. It was all very separated, so that's why they say boys have waffle brains. The same thing goes for relationships. Girls, we really do like to mix everything together. Like me, for example, I'm moving tomorrow to start working in Disney World. Well, my boyfriend lives 2 hours from Disney World, so obviously I planned on, like, continuing my relationship with him and using that as an advantage to, like, work and still be able to maintain our long distance relationship. And I've become really good friends with my roommates. Like, I'm kind of just, like, combining everything. And then we have a dinner planned out where I'm gonna meet my roommates' boyfriends and fiancés. Like, I like interweaving everything because it really is like a security thing. But guys aren't like that. So when guys are dealing with stress, sometimes they tend to take it out on the different holes in the waffle. I know that sounds super weird, but sometimes if a guy is dealing with problems like work or, like, in his personal life, it really does take a toll on him because men are just kind of like bread. That sounds like bread. I don't know a better way to use that word, but boys are brought up to believe that, like, their job is to develop their own standing in society, to have a career, to provide for a woman, to really make his own way in the world, to become a leader, a boss, and not a follower, not somebody working for someone else, but someone who is kind of like doing his own thing and really making his own way in the world. That's what guys are kind of grown up to believe. So if they ever are dealing with something in life that challenges that or makes them feel like they're not contributing to society in the way that they'd like to, or that they're not really getting the acknowledgement that they wish they would, they could feel a little discouraged and a little out of place. Sometimes they take that out on their relationships, but sometimes they don't. It just depends on how he compartmentalizes everything. But most of the time, if a guy wakes up and decides not to pursue you anymore, normally it's because he's been thinking about it for a while. Sometimes it's like an amalgamation of, like, things piling up, like a snowball, like the snowball effect, where it starts off as a little tiny snowflake and it starts rolling down the hill and it gathers mass and it gathers velocity and then it just gets big and then all of a sudden you're being run over by an 8-foot tall snowball and then you're crushed. Sometimes it's a snowball effect. Sometimes he bites his tongue throughout the relationship when things are bothering him. He doesn't really bring them to the table, but then one day they just kind of make the straw snap the camel's back. So maybe that's why he just woke up and realized it. Maybe it's because he's dealing with things in his personal life. There's always a chance he's seeing somebody else and pursuing somebody else, but it doesn't really sound like that's what's going on because I feel like you would kind of know if that was the case. I do know that boys, they do require things in order to feel good in their relationship and to feel like inspired to continue pursuing the relationship. Guys need to be appreciated and loved just as much as women do, just in a different way. Guys don't need all the emotional, like, gooey, lovey-dovey texts. They just need actions. They need to feel appreciated. They need to feel loved and needed. Needed is a big one. Guys love feeling needed and relied on, and that they're a support system. However, they don't like being the basket that carries all of your eggs. You should be able to really be a girlfriend, but also be who you are individually on your own. This is kind of drifting away from your topic, but like I said, I'm going to make it vague for more people to be able to relate to this. I don't know why he's feeling like this. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you guys had an argument or if something happened. You said you've both made mistakes. Well, what do those mistakes entail? Did you guys cheat? Because if so, I personally don't support that. I don't support trying to continue a relationship after that. because I do think it speaks a lot on your feelings, but everyone's different. I know couples that have cheated on each other and they're still happily together, according to Instagram. So, you said we've barely talked in a few days and I'm not sure what to do. I don't really know what's going on or like why you guys haven't talked, but I do think whatever's going on, you deserve to know what's going on, because he's not the only person in the relationship, it's also you. It's definitely 50-50, and boys have their needs and girls have our needs, and his needs are obviously that he needs some space to clear his head, so you need to be able to give him that, give him his needs. However, don't let it carry on for too long. If it starts to feel ridiculous or uncomfortable, tell him, look, I respect your needs and your desire to take this space. However, I have needs too, and right now I feel like they're not being fulfilled because I'm not being given a time span. I'm not being given like any conditions. I'm not being given any ways to fix this or anything I can do, like any like reasoning why you're doing this, why you're withholding yourself from me. Like, you have needs too. So right now it's good for you to support him and what he's asking for, if he's asking for space. But ultimately it's not all about him, it's about you too. So give him what he needs, but then at one point you do need to put your foot down and say, look, I respect you taking space, but I'm in this relationship too, and there's things that I need. And if I'm not getting them, then it's unfair for me to sit here and kind of wait for you to just think, because it's not fair. So, I'm not going to say break up with him, because obviously no. Like, if you love somebody, fight for them, but fight gently. Like, don't be crazy, don't anything, just be calm, be cool, be collected. Really give them their time and their space to really think about everything. I know every single YouTube video you'll watch on this topic will say the same thing. Give them space, don't panic, don't freak out, don't blow up their phones, don't do this, don't do that. There's such a long list of things, but there's a reason why it's so repetitive, and it's because it's true. Guys don't like being bombarded, they don't like being nagged, they don't like being, they don't like feeling like their partner is condescending and that they're speaking down to them. Like, you boys really like when we can communicate openly and honestly with them, but also put our foot down and maintain our standards and the standards that we had in the beginning of our relationship or even long before that. So just remember who you are, remember what you deserve. I know it's really cliche, but it's true. A girl who respects herself is a girl who is fearless, and if you are willing to maintain that respect for yourself throughout anything, you will survive anything, as long as you just maintain those standards throughout every relationship, throughout every storm, throughout all the good times and the bad. Just maintain that respect for yourself and know what you deserve and know what you don't. So I'm sorry this video was short. I was working with what I was given with, but that's pretty much all I gotta say. So thank you so much for writing in. It means a lot. And for anyone else, if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll put it in the description. I also take requests on Instagram, or if you want to Venmo me and then write your question in the Venmo payment, that would be great. Yeah, I actually prefer that method the best, because moving to Florida, working in Disney World, $10 an hour? Yeah, Venmo me. My username is down below. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.